Welcome to Warblog. Today we're looking at anything really. Oh look, the Kunar rural violence. Pretty much the same as the Patika rural violence. There's a little difference on this, and I might go back and edit this. I'll explain the difference here. Obviously they're different places, but they're very adjacent. I think down here is Kandahar or Khost or something, and almost in that hex, if not in that hex. Major city, and then Patika is on the other side of that major city. The difference is, other than that this is the Kunar province, I don't know this one's include it, that some of these objectives don't have police in them. Now on the other one they all have police in them, making it quite difficult to get to the sort of the refugee raising sort of position, so to speak. And also another little feature of some note is that Mangwal is on the other side of this river, so they won't be able to get across that river. I wonder if the regulars can. I don't know. I don't think they can. But so they'd have to go around here. But in theory, maybe I should move the border over like this. It's one of these things where I've got to try and make the borders correct. I'm not sure that this road goes into Pakistan and then comes around, or whether the border is more sort of like that. I think if I did the border like that, it would be, to be quite honest, it probably wouldn't make any difference at all. I might edit that, but when you look at it on the map, it would be, that's clearly the border is more on this side of the hexes than that. So I'll have to go back and see whether this road goes on the inside of the border or not. But it's such a small technicality that most people probably wouldn't notice. So we'll just jump into playing it. Refugees. Okay. Can we go across this river? No. Not at all. So what do? Well, obviously they can go up here and try and take this police unit out. But what they could also do is go for Waterpur. So this is a bit stupid that they're there. And then more movement. And then this unit, and there should be some police up here. Let's go for this. Okay, so refugees. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so next, the Afghanistan player. And, I think this is good. I can't go back to where it turns. He's in the wrong place, look. Let's have a look. Yeah, look. I thought there should have been one in one of these places, and I thought it should have been now. I bet you anyway that any money that is G and this is Q. So he's 7-0. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I probably mistook the G for an O. I'm going to update that. I've sort of updated it. So as you can see, that police unit's now somewhere sensible. So we're going to start this game again. So we do the same things we did last time. No, I didn't want to do that because now I've got no movement. I'm just going to start again. I'm one of these people that when I play these other computer, not that I do really much, but for example, when I used to play a lot of Civilization, I would always just save it, and if I did a major battle, I would just save it, and if I lost, I'd just reset it and play it again. Life's too short in many instances to sort of mess around like that. So anyway, we've now got this police unit there. Which, oh look, all the refugees went there. Okay, so we're back to where we were. So not a lot of time lost. One of the benefits of nice, small, easy play games. Okay, so the Afghanistan player doesn't really want to do much. I mean, he's got this unit here. He could possibly move them up this way to engage in that, but that would leave these more empty. Do they want to do that? 1, 2, 3. It would only be still a 1 to 2. Police are only good at holding, so they're not going to do anything. They should have moved the refugees. Oh well. Okay, well, they're going to stay there to take that. They're going to move over into Watapur. Look at that. There's refugees everywhere now, and they're going to stay there holding that. So this is the early rural violence in a Kunar province. So it's the Afghanistan player. Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking to myself, I sort of can't remember anything. Right, so there's a refugee waypoint. And these refugees are conveniently located. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to leave it empty, but I'm not going to move in there because I'm going to assume that. Well, don't have to assume anything. Okay, so that's that. Right, so they've now taken that. Still trying to take that. Still trying to take that for some reason. I don't know why this one went quicker. Oh, because it was only worth 1. This is worth 2. Okay. Right. So, do we want to try and take this position? Why not? Yep, 3 to 1 DR. So it's a different game to the other one, and there's plenty of refugees being developed as a result. So we leave that there. I was looking for the reinforcements there. Okay, so these guys are heading there. Can we get into the mountains? No, I think you just can't go into mountains. Okay. Should have thought how long it's going to do that unit actually working the car, that's fine. Okay, so we've got some military units coming in now. So, we've got some choices. I don't think we want to attack that police unit across this river, but we can certainly speed up the capture of this place. Okay, I wonder how many refugees I can get in there. They're stacking them. Oh, That's interesting. They can't get across the river. I wonder if that will affect that. Maybe not. Got to go around. That's crazy. Okay. But motorised units. 3, so we need 3 over the hills. I think this is a much better simulation of the rural violence of that period, mainly because it's just a little more dynamic. I think the map is the border with Pakistan is more significant, giving 2 sort of primary routes through, whereas the other one, it was just this little gap up here that was, almost hard to interpret with all the sort of things that are on it. Okay. Right, well, they're in there, so they've got this sort of choice now, really, as to whether or not they just sit there and take it, which I think they will. But what do we do up here? Do we want to fight this police unit and push it out? Probably worth a go. 2 to 1. So they're generally going to get a 2 to 1 odds on a 1-to-1 basis. So that over a period of time that will... What will we move there for? Oh god. Right. He's got to actually start moving back. So he's going to. Get into the mountains as a start. Okay. Okay, so these refugees are trying to get across the border. Okay. Right. It's all motorised. Okay. They're going to recover because they would have recovered, so they'll be on 0. They're still trying to take whatever's in there. Asadabad. Asadabad. They're trying to take Asadabad. But there is reinforcements en route. Okay. So the police are actually now getting back into some sort of existence on the map board. So they're completely sort of going in the wrong direction. More refugees. We seem to have to fit as many as we want in there. Okay. Okay. So we've finally got a critical mass. So this is where the strength of these units will come into its own, I think. This is, the presence of the military as opposed to the puny police. Okay. Well, they can't get there unless they fight with the refugees. Depression 0, so we'll have another crack here. 2 to 1. Drove them back. So now we can move into there, producing more refugees. And do we want to punch these police again? We've got 0.4 movement, so I think it's possible. And there just happen to be refugees in there, which is obviously not good for the refugees. 3 to 1, we eliminated that police unit. and the refugee unit retreated to there. So that was a good move, because basically we've now removed all sort of formal resistance at this end. Now obviously we've got this army approaching, so what we do here would be really a matter of not conjecture, but you'd have to sort of say, well, what would they do? Because they'll probably run away, because they're not really, this is just rural violence, so they probably peter away into their farmlands and the hills and back to where they came from as, you know, herdsmen or whatever, and they probably wouldn't make a sort of, you know, symmetric stand. You know, they probably behave more in an asymmetric way of guerrillas and irregulars. So, you know, they probably never had any intention of capturing and holding Asadabad. But, you know, who knows? I mean, they could decide to make a stand for it, because there's two sides of this river. So, for example, we could move this unit there, and that would stop them getting across the river there, but then they would just come round. Eventually they would flank that position. So we'll just play it to the sort of, not so much to the bitter end, but to its culmination, so to speak, because we can definitely get across there now and retake that position, and next turn we'll be in perfect position for an assault on Asadabad. I said it without referring, my memory's not that bad. Okay, I'm going to end smart. Okay, well, they can't attack because these are more than 6. And here we can take that position. Should we move the police up there? Possibly worth it. Oh, but it's not their turn, is it? Okay, so that's everything that they can do. You can fight across that river, but it's probably not worth it. I'm going to hold for one more turn. And at the very least, get another unit into the battle. And here, I am going to move this up here, and now we're in a good position to stack up with, and we can only stack at 2. We can engage in that battle. So, they've now taken Asadabad. Now do they want to move out? Now that police unit is a good target at the very least. So that's a stupid thing to do. 3-1 and DR. Now they could attack over here, but it's across a river, so that's not really ideal. You could sort of retreat. Now again, I would be more inclined to do that considering what they are. But I think at the same time I've got to say, well, let's just see what this battle looks like. Should move these refugees. Okay. Right. Well, I'm not going to move there because that means I'm attacking across the river without a bridge. I can't put 3 into there. So this is about as good as it's going to get. One to one, and the attacker retreats. But they didn't seem to retreat, did they? I don't think you retreat when you're an attacker. I can remember. I've really got to go through and consolidate the mechanics. It's getting a bit sort of loopy, really. I do want to move these off board. I've been sitting there too long now. So we can at least start taking that back, start contesting this. So we now know that we've only got a 1-to-1 chance there. And that's about as good as it's going to get. That attack and retreat just didn't work, did it? They didn't get any depressions. I'll have to look into that. Okay, we'll leave it at that, because my brain is full of other things, and it's strange, it's taking a long time. Oh no, because it's only just moved into there. Okay. We need a bit more, don't we, to get in there. But that would have been the beginning of the war, really, I guess. You know, I mean, depending on how the fortune of this early rural violence went, this could symbolise, you know, the capture of, you know, a first town, and a stand against the Afghan army. But remembering it's the, you know, this is the beginning of the Tsar Revolution and the beginning of the Soviet-Afghan War. So, you know, they probably would have moved out. You know, I mean, what I should maybe do is at this stage bring in 2 more units, maybe some artillery actually, some artillery to come in sort of about now, you know, fairly late into the game, but once the artillery comes in, they'll just be able to pound them, and they'll have to leave, and they don't have any rockets or anything like that, especially in 73 or whenever, or 78, whenever this is. Anyway, I'll leave it there. We'll look into the AR, and I'll speak later. Cheerio.